Well, friends, I'm very happy to be here this evening in this K. Dhamma the lecture series. So today, as we scheduled, we are here to speak and listen the joy of selfless giving. Selfless giving. When we hear about selfless giving, that's basically we have to speak about giving, which is very familiar with many Buddhists. I believe all of you are into practice. You are Buddhist practitioners. Therefore, this is something that we always talk about. Giving, in other words, we call Dhamma, right? Most people do that as a very convenient way. We give Dhamma. But we have to, I think what we have to do here this evening, just to examine that Dhamma that we practice, are we on the right path of that? I like to share stories too, even though you know some stories, certain things. But like most of the time when I thought of, look at the way Bodhisattva practice. I think all of you may know different stories that as a Bodhisattva, he practiced Dhamma or giving. When we think of selfless giving, that is what comes to my mind. One story, see if you know this one, Vesantara, Jataka story of Vesantara as Bodhisattva, has not only one lifetime to become enlightened being, he practiced for a long time. How long? We hear this sometimes, we say 4 eons plus. 4 eons or 1 eon, we cannot say, we don't know the number. That long time, he was performing those virtues, 10 perfections in other words. To come to perfectness, bring his mind to perfectness, he practiced that a long time. I think very famous stories, that Vesankara Chataka story. If you know how people came asking for something, he gave. Whatever he had, whatever they asked for, they gave. First they came to give. Somebody came from another state asking for the royal elephant. I think you know that part. And he gave it. Being a king, you have to have the elephant. You have to have your other resources, but this king, what he did was he gave. When people came asking for it, he gave. So finally he opened the doors of the castle. So whatever they had, he had. All the treasures, people took away. Find whatever, you know that even he gave his 2 children. Is it an easy thing to do for a father? It is not easy. But this was his last existence as a Bodhisattva. This is the time he was fulfilling his harami of Dhamma, giving. So somebody came hearing about that his giving, nature of giving. So a Brahmin comes, an old man comes up because of his wife were asking for servants. It's a very sad situation, you know. This, even though it's a story, something had happened in that he gives away to children. I don't think as a father he can do that with joyful mind. And on the other hand, I don't think that he did that any hesitation. Such a strong power he had, his mind, he had to give. He didn't disappoint him. Even in that lifetime, he gave his, somebody else came to just to test him out, asked him for his wife. So, he gave. It is not because he was not kind to them, but somehow historical sense, that just to show you how generous mind he had and what he did to complete his perfection. So that's the, in the story it comes. So without holding into anything, he gave up everything. Finally what happened? He had to give up his kingdom. Why? The father who was the king and the people who in the state, they were not happy. They were upset about something. Not everybody can happy looking at the other people's generosity. So he was a very special being at the moment, at that time, Bodhisattva. So Bodhisattva, he was practicing just to complete his perfection. But other people were not happy. So he had to leave his palace. He went into the forest. That's where he gave up his two children and wife. So likewise, now, when he was giving with generosity, what was this giving? Giving out for the benefit of other people. Anything that you have, when you give out for the benefit, thinking of the benefit of other people, that is called dana or the giving. And why do we have to give? Why do we have to give? He gave out things and everything, whatever he had to give, having one aspect in his mind, one aspiration in his mind. What was that? To become enlightened. Is that for to boost his ego? We don't see that he did anything after he becoming enlightened. In his teachings, we don't see anything he had done to boost his ego. But his desire was to attain enlightenment and to share the path with the other beings. That was the desire, that was the mindset he had. But see now, if there is a difference, we can examine ourselves. When that is we can see Bodhisattva concept of giving, not to boost his ego. Do we among us or people current day, do they have the same mindset when they give? At least you have to think yourself. Some people, they do things just to put their name on the board, up high in big letters. Right? I don't think this is the wrong thing, but just look at it. By doing so, what is happening? You just boost your ego. You spend the money. You can build a school. You may build a hospital. All these things are done as well for the benefit of other people. You have plenty of wealth, enough wealth, so you do build a school thinking a lot of children poor children in this town can benefit from this. It's a great gift. You are opening their eyes by providing a place for them to study. Work is good, but what is your thought? Maybe somebody, because of you have so generously, if you think generously, you don't have your name on that. But sometimes we do build a school, then you have request them to, okay, name it after me. Or maybe you can get